Right, let's start clearing out the troops that showed up right next to ours. The clip just started and Hollywood just became an ace. That should be a good sign. Could have been worse with that level up, but I was kind of hoping for some more strength there. Ah well, speed's better than strength, at least when it comes to dealing with the various grunts. Though again, the bosses in this game can feel like they're such a vastly different breed from the grunts that it just feels like bullshit sometimes. Well, it's certainly been a while since Matthew had a chance to get a kill. Understandable, he's not a frontliner by any means. Still, 2 kills so far for someone with his talents is kind of respectable. And more importantly, he's here to recruit someone from the other side. And this is going to be Rebecca's 4th. Right, that takes care of the ones that are closest. I suppose that just leaves the splinter group I wanted to have cross the bridge to the north. Not really expecting them to do much fighting, but hey, Bartray and Dorcas should be able to handle themselves. Right. Of course there's another tree to fell before we're allowed near the castle. Not that I'm in any real hurry with these guys. If anything, I'm sure that Hector will be enough to deal with the spearmen over there. Assuming, Lowen doesn't do that, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see how things go when we get there. And that's probably going to take a few turns, especially when I have several awkward moments of being indecisive for no apparent reason. Just one space away from being able to get her to that fort. Hopefully I won't pay for deciding not to heal her immediately after the hits she's already taken. The poor girl is just not built for taking bumps. Landmines. We're in a sword and sorcery world and she's inventing a landmines. Bloody hell. The worst part is that those kinds of weapons are best for defense, and all too often we're going to be on offense. Granted, if I was creative enough, I could probably find ways to use the landmines as part of an offensive strategy, lure some enemies into them and all that, but I do not trust myself with those things whatsoever. Especially when we have someone that we want to recruit from the enemy forces not far from here. As a side note, I thought Lycia was supposed to be relatively peaceful, aside from some bandits and whatever the Black Fang is doing. Why in the hell would anyone feel the need to invent goddamn landmines? Especially before armored vehicles are anywhere close to being invented. That's probably just something I'm not supposed to think about. Right, let's see what's in the other village. That's certainly a unique tune, and it's a unique looking man to go with it. Pretty sure we're going to see him again at some point. Why do I get the feeling his need to rush is gonna bite him in the ass? Lovely. So at some point soon, we're gonna have to deal with fog again. Not that I can feel all that annoyed by that little gimmick. With the amount of StarCraft and Warcraft I've gone through over the years, I'm very much familiar with dealing with the fog of war. I would just prefer not to. Definitely a good level up there. Lowen is really proven he's going to be a solidly capable warrior. Though I'm afraid he's going to feel redundant when we finally get Zane and Kent back on our team. That's going to be a bit awkward. Bloody hell. Hector's level up there just put Lowen to shame. And that was something he gained just by taking an arrow to the chest. It wasn't a very deadly arrow, but still just feels a bit weird to think of someone gaining experience by just tanking hits. It reminds me of why I stay as far away from Final Fantasy II as possible. As good as the storytelling is in that game, especially in comparison to Final Fantasies 1 and 3, the gameplay is just an absolute train wreck. Either you know it well enough to abuse it, or you're going to be absolutely screwed over by somehow neglecting a critical aspect of how to make your team stronger. I know, not even remotely the same franchise, still, that's where my mind wandered, and it's a bit tough to keep the mind from wandering when you're taking your time trying to ensure your path forward is clear without killing a specific person that's got a blade ready for your neck. Hell, I'm pretty sure there's a chance that if we give him the opportunity, that guy could kill Matthew before Matthew even gets a chance to talk to him. And that would be a very embarrassing death. A javelin throw probably isn't the best idea here, especially considering how injured Lowen is already. Not that a pot shot with Rebecca's bow is gonna be any safer. At least there's more of a chance this guy is gonna miss. And good. Rebecca goes untouched in that exchange. That should about do it for this end of the battlefield. Now to get the secondary force moving across that river. Well, that tree isn't going to last that long. What an innovative use for axes, chopping down trees to clear our way. I know, not much point in me being snarky about something like that, but I suppose Dorcas is gonna take a sword to the face soon. Still, that aside, things seem to be moving pretty smoothly for the moment. Right, too much to hope that neither of us would get hurt in that exchange. But at least he didn't land a critical with that killing edge. The critical chances for weapons like that are no joke. Seems both the axemen out here brought throwing axes. And son of a bitch, the enemy's gaining reinforcements. Matthew, you have a very urgent conversation to get to. Yeah, I kinda wish this character connection ended up meaning something worthwhile, but again, this game is very much not that good at character interactions. It's just a fairly standard fantasy journey story to get people familiar with the franchise, since, once again, this is the first entry they released outside of Japan. Not for long we aren't. Hell, your speaking sprite is blue, and our overworld sprite color is blue. You're pretty much destined to join us. If he was an absolute terror, then Eliwood would have been killed in a single turn there. If anything, at this point, his biggest scare factor is the weapon he's holding, not his skills or strength with it. I can't really say much about the reason why we're gaining this new swordsman, but considering the number of axe users we've been running into, beggars can't be choosers. I'm sorry, I know this is supposed to be amusing, but I'm just not feeling it. Maybe I'm just too cynical. Don't worry, the people you were working for are dying around you anyway. I don't think you'd have been able to grow to your full potential as a swordsman working for them. Granted, you might not when working with us either, but at the very least you have more of a chance to grow. Though you'll have to talk to Eliwood about potential payments, that's not my department. Anyway, Hector has just become an ace. And that's an ace for Rebecca as well. We're just letting a good number of people become aces in this mission, aren't we? Not quite a kill against the archer, but at least it's gonna be close. Yeah, whoever gets the next hit on that archer is gonna kill the bastard. So, either we kill the archer or the axe user, but we can't get both of them. That's a bit annoying, but that's not exactly a scary problem, just mildly annoying. Speaking of annoying, apparently it's gonna be a bit tough for Sarah to heal anyone without exposing herself to getting hit. Ah well, maybe the archer will think other targets are more juicy. Anyway, I'm about as leery about using up charges on guys killing Edge as I am of charges on Hector's Wolf Beale thing. A very good level up for Sarah, but again, I'm not sure that skill or speed mean anything for a healer in this game. I certainly don't think that healers get to land critical hits or double up on their moves. Guess that Oswin is gonna gain another kill. Or that swordsman could just decide to run away. I honestly wasn't expecting him to be that sensible. Looks like the enemy has another archer to work with. Not all that scary so long as we keep them nice and cornered there. But then, maybe it's a bad idea to corner them at their spawn point that just so happens to allow them to heal every turn. Not that we're in a major hurry, but still, this is going to slow down the part of the force that I thought was going to be the main thrust. Anyone want to bet that Dorcas and Bartray are going to be the ones to finish the job against the boss instead of just his surrounding spearmen like I had originally planned. Anyway, that's 4 kills for Matthew. Is he gonna end up an ace as well in this mission? I got nothing against it, but frankly, I don't expect this guy to see all that much action compared to everyone else, considering his gimmick is picking locks. These archers are certainly getting ripped to shreds out here despite their defensive ground. I wonder how many missions until we start seeing regular grunts that make us have to worry about how we're gonna handle them instead of just named characters. We are 24 clips into this game after all, even if this is just the 3rd mission of this campaign. By my reckoning, we're a bit of an old hand at this kind of work by now. Okay, looks like that swordsman did a good job of slowing down the secondary force just by standing in that spot a bit and then pulling back. Shame that he's a nameless bandit. I kind of wish I could praise him a bit more before he dies here, but no. He's just a random swordsman, a number I don't give enough of a damn to count. The vast majority of the 206 hostiles we've taken down in this playthrough have died without the dignity of a name. Granted, when you've got that many hostiles, I'm sure there's not really much point in naming them. Hell, the Yakuza series, now renamed Like a Dragon, gives all the various nothing grunts names even if they aren't important, and I end up forgetting their names before I'm even done slapping them to the ground. Great. They're gaining some more spearmen close to the boss. I probably shouldn't feel so annoyed by the enemy gaining reinforcements. As I understand it, the Japan-only fire emblems that came before this game would give the freshly spawned-in enemy reinforcements the chance to move around and really screw with your moves unless you already knew they were coming and when. One of several reasons why I'm nowhere near passionate enough about this series to try to LP fan translations of the older games. Hell, I'm not even fully convinced that I'm passionate enough about this game to go all the way to the ending credits. Still, it'll be interesting to see how far I managed to get before I ended up putting the game aside in my previous attempt. And who knows, maybe working on commentary will prompt me to finally be able to finish this game for once. Hector's a bit further back in line than I would have thought, but that's just the way the ball bounced in the previous turns. I'm sure there are plenty of people who've done this game over the years who can go through this mission and all the previous one a lot more efficiently than I can. Still, even with my lack of efficiency, we're doing a reasonably solid job out here. Guess Oswin is gonna get more kills than I was initially expecting here. Hell, I was hoping I could get by with avoiding him getting any kills like I did for Marcus, but it's not like Oswin would make a good messenger with his speed. He's a slowly marching wall. Anyway, that's 3 for Guy in a single mission. Doubt he'd have that kind of kill rate with an iron sword instead of that killing edge. And I really don't want to wear that killing edge down here when we have no clue how long until we could replace it. Assuming, of course, that I ever do replace it. I get the feeling that I like to get iron and steel weapons more than weapons with a high critical rate. But then that's easy to say when we've never seen the critical hitting weapons in the rather scattered stores just yet. Boyez. I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing his name right here. What kind of name is Boyez? Why do I find that name more silly than the likes of Bartray or Guy? We literally met a guy named Guy, and I didn't even blink. What, you didn't notice the sheer number of your allies that got killed in this mission? And did nobody tell you how many other people this crew has managed to kill in the previous 2 missions? Sure, there's plenty of room for the people here to grow, but come on. We're not exactly pushovers that you could afford to consider a joke. And all you can do at this point is just stall us out for a few turns. You've got no real chance to stop us now after everything that's happened in this mission. But no! Like so many other enemies in this game so far, this guy is absolutely convinced that he's essentially invincible and the people he's fighting against are complete trash. Are we ever gonna earn some respect around here? Or is this gonna be a constant issue for the rest of the game? Right, not much he can do now that it's his move. Not that he ever bothered to move from that spot before now. Okay, Oswin, you've traded enough blows with this bullshit bastard in the corner. Again, the way that bosses seem to be designed around here feels less like a nice challenge and more like an absolutely annoying pain in the ass. And it's only gonna keep on getting tougher as we keep trying to push forward. You've got to be goddamn kidding me. Dorcas with a steel axe is doing that little damage. And he can only survive 1 hit from a guy who's using a spear against an axe user. I call absolute bullshit. He should be the most capable of our people against the guy. He's a veteran of the previous campaign, a higher level than anyone else we've got in this mission. The man has 24 kills to his name, but he can't take out a lone spear user on his own unless he gets absurdly lucky. And unless we're crazy enough to put Rebecca close enough to do some damage, we're only gonna hit this guy 1 at a time. It's not insurmountable, but it's still just pretty damn bullshit. Doesn't feel like lightning from where I'm sitting, and this boss is doing a good job of slowing us down for the moment. I suppose I appreciate the compliment, though. I could use the morale boost to counteract my personal annoyance with the situation. Yeah, if the javelin isn't gonna do anything, then I doubt the bow and arrows will. Kinda makes me wish that we had some mages on the team, but I suppose that's gonna come later. Okay, so Dorcas was a good deal more lucky than I thought he'd be. That certainly simplifies matters by quite a lot. But I somehow doubt that luck is going to be on our side like that in future clips. If it was, then I probably wouldn't feel so frustrated with this game overall. have preferred more strength and speed, but improving his defense is reasonable enough. Now we just need to get Eliwood into the castle and see the final cutscene of the mission. So it's just healing for the sake of gaining a few more experience points. And that's it, we're done with yet another mission. And look at that, this clip is full enough with this mission that I don't feel the need to include part of the next mission to give it a bit more meat. I'm pretty sure you don't need to waste time apologizing when you're bleeding out on the floor due to an unspecified injury. Darren? Who the hell is Darren? Well, we certainly already figured out we'd have to go to Laos at some point. Something notable was going on there, and this is such a bare-bones plot that things don't just happen in the background. We already know the Black Fangus group that's going to be dangerous. We met them in the previous campaign for 2 missions. Because the script demanded he had to die for the sake of making you feel bad. I wish there was something more to it than that, but frankly, it was not a sad moment for this audience member at least, and I'm pretty sure if we took too long to get to him, that someone else would have told us to go to Laos. The plot would have moved on regardless of if Eliwood got to exchange word with that dear old friend who wasn't allowed to stay in the story for very long. I could have sworn you were the attendant for House Kalen. I know, just another reused face and all that. Not an important character in the least, but... Just try to run things as normally as possible and try to see if there's anyone who could possibly take over the realm now that the previous lord is dead. At his age, I'm sure there are other family members scattered around who could possibly inherit, but... it's not like anyone ever asks me that sort of thing. They were asking these two. Let's just continue our hunt for Eliwood's father, which will, of course, lead us to a dangerous conspiracy of some kind.